How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Yashahime Princess Half Demons episode review and recap. Today's episode is episode 42, The Collapse of the Windmill of Time. So, before I get right into it, please don't forget to give me a like, give me a comment down there, and hit that subscribe button. If you're not new here, please hit the notification bell, be notified of more videos just like this, and do not forget to share the video so others can see and join in the discussion. So, if you remember last time, we had a lot going on, didn't we? We had Moroha getting a new bow, the touching family moment, everybody getting together because they have to go to Mama Maru's house, Shishomaru's mom's house. A lot of stuff's going on there, and finding out the real reason as to why, pardon me, why Towa had her cone, that is the spirit. They come up with so many. It's so weird that they chose to introduce two new terms in this franchise. And by this franchise, I'm Inuyasha to Yashahime. It's odd because why? Why not just say spirit and things like that? I personally don't get it, but it's okay. So after she got her cone back from the Akuru, it's time for us to go off, and then Kirinmaru ends up getting his daughter to move once again. Is trying to get her to join up with him. Let's go ahead and continue. So, um, they all finally travel to Mama Maru's house. Jokin greets her, as she opens her eyes. He introduces the twins as Shomaru's daughters, gives them their names, and kind of mumbles a bit when he mentions, Moroha being Inuyasha's daughter. Now, I don't know if that was supposed for us to laugh at the slight at Inuyasha or Moroha, or if it's because this is technically the granddaughter to the woman that, I don't want to say took your man, but the woman that your man fell in love with. It's so interesting. I don't know if they actually covered that in the rest of Inuyasha or in the final act. Do they ever really cover why he left Shishomaru's mom and went to Izayoi? Probably not even really a story there. I'm just interested in why it's never actually been set that back up. Never actually been covered. Yeah. Uh, Her eyes kind of cut a little bit because she looks from Moroha then to the twins, and Toe was like, "Oh, so this would make you our grandmother." That's kind of it's kind of cool. And Setsuna was like, "Hey, we don't have time for any of that." And Mama Maru, as I'm gonna keep calling her, she asked if they'd come to travel through the Windmill of Time, and where am I at here? And I do give Toa props because at least now, Toa's like, oh, so I'll make you granny, and that's that. Thank you. No one would honestly not make note of something like that, right? But she has they come travel through the Windmill Time. She can see Akuru because I guess since she was a betrothed of the Great Dog Demon, she's technically still part of that clan. So she saw Akuru, or maybe she's a distant. See, here's the thing: she could have been a distant cousin of the Great Dog Demon. I don't know how demons hooking up goes together, but she can see Akuru, plain and simple, which would make sense since she's. I don't want to say she's not really guarding the windmill. She's just kind of there. She's the attendant. It's at her place. So she lands in. She sees Akuru in front of him, saying, "You guys already been chosen. Door's gonna open up for you." But she follows up with, many people have come here with the purpose of traveling through time. And one after another, they were sucked into space and perished. And Morehouse was like, well, we were chosen, right? So we should be fine. And she's like, yeah, but their resentment still lingers on and stops the windmill from turning. And she's holding out this big, big pendant. And, where am I at here? And, they're wondering, all right, what do they need to do? Well, you guys need to defeat all of them in order to travel through. And she calls Medamaru, and you see this figure, very Sailor Moon villain esque when it's independent, comes out first as this glob, this I don't want to say glob, but it's kind of like this silhouette form that then is given form to this blonde hair, kind of looks like he has lipstick on, lipstick wearing purple outfit. Very well designed character. First of all, this character reminds me of Inuyasha by and by, and he is literally the embodiment of the underworld's wrath. Everyone's grudge who did not get to go through time is collected in him, and he is that he is they and they is he. I am Legion, and the moment he hears that they are trying to journey through time, he looks over them. He's like, "Oh, so you're chosen." That's very interesting. He has a gleeful look. He's very flamboyant. His laugh is yo ho ho. I love a character that has a different laugh than everyone else. I say he's flamboyant. He's not flamboyant as in, I was gonna say offensive, but the show isn't really offensive at all. He's like he's very much flamboyant. You can see the direction they were going with this character. Like obviously he, but has some feminine characteristics. I'm gonna be very honest with you. This is probably one of the better characters that they have come up with in Yashahime, and he's only in it for one episode. Very good character. I the fact that he's an embodiment of a grudge, but he's anger and bitterness that seems to be gleeful about it. It's a very good different take instead of someone being, you know, angrily moving forward, which he has those kind of moments, but I'll get to that in a minute. Jocken is also by the side of Maru because Maru enjoys watching Medamaru fight. She enjoys watching him, so she's like, this is gonna be a good way to pass the time. I still like Maru all the way. She's easily the best character in this episode for several reasons, and I'll get to that in a moment. So we get a little recap of Kirinmaru getting Rion move again, asking her come through time, and she's like, "Well, I'm not gonna help you make that degenerate age that you want." And he tells her all the information our heroes know, that the comet is gonna crash and kill humanity in 500 years. And she's like, "Wait, what's your proof?" "Hey, Riku, what did you do with that hand of mine, that right hand?" And he's like, yeah, you threw it through the Bone Eater's well, which goes through to the other era and went through time. So my other hand, went through there, gained a new body. We do see a silhouette of his naked form coming out of there, and it turns out that the Grim Comet that was 500 years before that, and then the ones before that, those were actually just pieces of a much bigger one. And guess what? The Grim Comet, who would have known, is attracted to demon energy. So he he says he can feel his right hand begging him to come in and save the world. And he's like, "Yeah, Riku, this is technically all your fault." And Riku has a look at you like, "Yeah, it is your fault." So essentially, our new plot hinges on the fact that Riku, for some reason, decided to throw a severed hand into a well. Let's let's let alone let's think about the fact that she threw a hand into a well that was probably someone's drinking water. Okay, maybe the Bone Eater well has always been abandoned. Maybe, but just the fact you just thought, I want to plop it down. You never thought about the fact that you grew from a horn, so nothing would grow from the hand. You didn't think to keep your hand brother with you. Whatever. So he's saying, yeah, so you come with me, we save humanity, or you just watch it all burn. Who cares, right? And she's saying, you can't have me make that decision. And he's like, look, you come with me, I'm going to get you a new body, and it'd be the body of Towa that you're so fond of. And he kind of looks at Riku and looks at her. And he's just full on villain now. And I get to that in 2 seconds. They're shocked because apparently he set up a trap in the Zan Senkin. You know that flute, the Kyokun root, that thing that she uses to absorb demon energy? Yeah. He said he set up a thing should anybody decide to steal it, that she keeps using it, all the cone in her body's gonna go away, and she'll be an empty shell, and then Rion can have that body. This is kind of convenient. I hate to say this is super convenient because she's used the Kyokon root several times before this. Like she's trained with it and she's drained a couple of demons' energy before and hasn't passed out. The only time she actually passed out now was when she was trying to save her father, Shishomaru. So kind of convenient, but you know what? I'll allow it. You need more twists and turns. It's anime, right? Um, so we're gonna go back over to Medamaru, who says he has a grudge against the chosen. He's gonna sell it right then and there. I was noting more of his characteristics: blonde, spiky hair. Looks like he has some pink rouge on the lips. Again, really good design character. So he combines his pole arms together, and it's like a double crescent moon, very on brand for Maru. And he's gonna go ahead and fight. So Towa's still wondering what does he have against them, and Moroha, takes out her sword. She takes out the Zansenkin, and Setsuna, between last episode and this episode, realizes that that's what made her faint. So she's like, "Hey, don't use that." And Towa's just straight up, no, it's cool. I'm gonna do it. Mama Maru recognizes the blade too, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, okay, Towa's just like has a death wish. It's just flat out has a death wish. It is beyond Naruto using the Rasen Shuriken that could badly damage himself because he overcame that by using clones to do that attack. It just seems like Towa has this weird. She's so, without being offensive, she's so Japanese that it kind of hurts. Like the whole, I'm gonna keep doing it even if I die kind of thing. It's like you have other options. There are other options. You need to think out of the box instead of just always needing to power through. But I digress. Um, Going back to the Kirin family. Ever since Rion had died, he had been looking for a body for her, and he's like, "You should have no issue because you gave her a kill cone root. You gave her the blade, right?" But my thing is, you said should it be stolen? It really isn't stolen. So you just put just a random curse on it just to be a dickhead, right? Pardon my language. It's just the turn. Like Kirinmaru is so, he's recognizable, but his personality is so different than how he was in the first season, where he's like this honorable bad guy that will fight with honor. We don't know his backstory. The moment we get the daughter hook pushed into season two, he starts crippling into like even more villainy. It's less and less of our ideals don't match, and I'm just gonna win regardless. Into I gotta do this for my kid, but no, I'm gonna do it so I can be the greatest, and humans will praise me, and demons will praise me, and it's so weird. So Riku's obviously mad because Towa is his boo. Flicks that little saber. He has a saber ready. He can't stand for it. Rion says any shred of attachment she had to him is denounced. And he's all like, Rion, don't sadden your papa. No, they're both ready to go in and fight him and kill him. Kill him. Excuse me. Whew, had to sneeze. So Riku goes in, he hops up to where he is, and Kirinmaru is just dodging him. Like, the Riku from first season and the Riku from the beginning of second season that was able to kill multiple demons and look kind of cool. Now that dude's gone. That dude doesn't exist when he's fighting Kirinmaru. Not to mention that he is a piece of Kirinmaru, so he should show something, but it's whatever. Rion uses her auntie's weapon to put that web around them. I'm not even going to try to say the name. I didn't even try to spell the name out here. And he's like, "You don't understand how much I love you. I cannot bear to lose you." And she's just like, "Father, you're wrong. You've been lost me." And then they both charge at him. And the crazy thing, he's like, "Yeah, you had some good strikes. How come you didn't use the Zansenkin when I gave it to you?" Now I'm thinking to myself, if she was dead and you had her soul attached to some grave dirt, how would she have grabbed the blade and it was just gonna go through her hand? That was an awkward thing. Hopefully it seems like a thing where it's like, man, I really hope no one remembers this really important information that she technically couldn't grab anything just to kind of throw at her. And she looks really conflicted, and I know that's what your aim was, but whatever. So the Yashahime are all attacking at once. Towa, is saying they never want to be chosen, and that's what's bugging this Medamaru. Love his name. Love his name, by the way. Medamaru. And he's making huge slashes at the ground that's making deep cuts and making Setsuna kind of fall back. Her naginata looks really huge in this episode. Like that blade end looks really, really big. Towa's clashing with him. He's using the might of his anger to push her back. He plans on sending them to the underworld, and then hey, you're gonna be a part of me, right? And again, I like his unique laugh. Reminds me of One Piece. You always know which characters are. You always know a character is important when they have a different laugh. Maru again is still enjoying the fight, and Setsuna's making note that he has such anger and bitterness. She wonders if she can sever that with the Tachikiri. First of all, our characters are getting smarter. I enjoy that. So Moroha sends some arrows at him, and Towa's trying to tell Moroha, "Hey, don't attack blindly," which is hilarious given who is saying that. Shut up, Towa. You're doing kamikaze attacks literally the entire episode at this point. And Setsuna wants to sever the ties. Towa's thinking of an effective attack. Yo ho ho with the laugh, and he's laughing at a quarter demon with spirit power. And she literally tells him, "Why don't you just quietly pass on?" Nah, he says he ain't doing that. He comes after her, and the twins are watching as he's mocking her bow. And she's like, "Yeah, don't make fun of my mom's bow." And she's gathering up energy in this arrow, fires it. Not only does it break, because he has a double sided. It's essentially his weapon is a glaive. It's a double sided crescent moon glaive. She breaks one of those ends, and three spirit arrows come out, and they bind him. And Towa even makes mention. Sorry, that's my water. Makes mention that Moroha's arrows have gotten an upgrade. No, she just finally has a weapon that's suited for her body. That's you can say they have an upgrade. Same spiritual power. She's gotten stronger. It's just you can't keep using a small bow when you have more power to give. So, but at this point, this dude is powering up. He's trying to power through. This is the point where I told you it's the only part when he's all like angry, bitter character, and you can hear all the grudges and all that. You can see all of the strings. All of them can actually see the strings as well. I think that's what they were kind of making it seem like. And he breaks free and comes in for an attack on Moroha, who unfortunately doesn't have any more arrows. And Towa is able to block that for her. Meanwhile, back at Kirin family cookout, he's running and fighting both of them. Rion has to do the web to make sure he doesn't fly away. Dude can just do flamethrower from Pokemon, just flamethrower attack, burn down the web. And he's getting to the point where he finally draws his blade, and he's like, "Hey, I'm not gonna hold back once I draw this." And Riku's like, "Hey, we're all for it." And they're doing some back and forth. Of course, he pushes Riku away, but that gives Rion enough time to power up some pink spiritual energy into the staff and aim at his neck. She's just like, "Hey, this is over, father." He did disarm Riku, which is probably that gave Rion enough time to counterattack. And I'm still thinking to myself, yeah, sure, you're gonna kill him right now. No, this is Infinity War all again. You should have aimed for the head. And there's a new cut in because we gotta phase in, phase out for the middle of the show. New cut in was with Rion, evil Kirinmaru looking directly at us, and you see the comet above. So that's a nice little work right there. When we come back, he tells her literally do it. He says, "Kill me," and she's like, "Oh," and he's able to take her arm with the staff as Riku runs up because he has her. It makes her stab him. He is literally ran through, skewered all the way through with this staff, and he falls down. She's crying that he's seemingly dead. He's not dead. It's double tap. We haven't seen the double tap, so he's not dead. And Kirinmaru, puts her to sleep and carries her off. Meanwhile, back at the plot A battle, Moroha's wishing she had more arrows because her arrows are super effective. I think she needs to start carrying 2 quivers, personally. So if they do serious damage, they can see his fate. That's what Towa says. So Towa is going to go in and take the lead, and she's going to try to take his demon energy. And Setsuna is determined to not let her do that, but it's Towa. What are you going to do? Towa Naruto is gonna do it, and again, I don't know if Towa's unaware of the weapon is doing to her, or she just has a death wish. But Medamaru, of course, taunts her like, "Hey, do it if you can." She uses the kill cone power, and Mama Maru knows flat out, "Okay, I know what blade this is." So little blue bubbles around him, his spiritual energy coming in, and Towa telling Setsuna to do what you gotta do. All of these threads that were wild at first are now stretching behind him. They're making this. It's like a threads are becoming thick cable cords, and they're connecting to the windmill of fate. Gives Setsuna all just one little place to cut. Well, not little, but one place to cut. She does the cut. It is interesting to note that she says the name of her weapon, Yukari no Tachikiri, which is interesting. Does everyone just say the name of their blade to do their attack? Like in the beginning, did Inuyasha say Tetsaiga to do its attack? I don't even think he did. I think they just had an attack name, which they should probably come up with an attack name for that instead of, well, if you're gonna come up with Cone and Haku, come up with an attack name for the severing of the threads, in my opinion. So now that the threads have been cut, his body Medamaru's body starting to fade, and Mama Maru asked if he's satisfied, and he realizes it wasn't that he wasn't chosen by fate; it was just beyond his means. There was really nothing he could do about it. That's that's the it's good that he came to that conclusion. Um, Mama Maru says superb as he says goodbye, and he's like a twinkle of starlights that go up into the sky, finally passing on. Everyone asks if Towa's okay, and she's saying she's just a little exhausted, and Moroha's wondering if something had happened before because it's obvious with Setsuna constantly going, "Don't use it, don't use it." And Mama Maru flat out, I love Mama Maru. She flat out says anyone who uses the blade to absorb demon energy will have their cone whittled away. It appears to be cursed. Love that she's able to just. Ooh, we needed a character like this for so long to just be like, hey, no need to guess. I'm just gonna tell you what's going on so you can deal with it later. Um, and even Morha, I'm glad that they did not make us feel like idiots because Morha came out and said, "What is cone?" And Jockin comes out now. He's like, "All right, it's time for me to explain." And we finally get a nice little image, almost I want to say slideshow, but this has better animation than that. But we get images now of what cone is. So humans, demons, beasts, and half demons. I don't know why they had to categorize half demons as like a fourth type of thing, but okay. They all have Haku and cone. And we see a silhouette of a person, a couple of demons, a horse, a bird, and the source of power to move one's body is Haku, highlighted in blue, and the power to move one's mind is Cone, which is highlighted in gold. It might have been to be silver and gold, but it came out as being blue and yellow. In short, they refer to one spirit, which is again, I'm asking why are we adding elements to this, and why we just to the series and just not just call it spirit, but okay. And Towa's like, all right, so what about the curse? And Mama Maru says, hey, just best you throw away that sword because if it's not the original owner, it's going to drain all of your cone and take over your body. And Mama Maru for the win again. And everyone's like, wait, the original owner, that's Rion. And Towa is still in disbelief as Moroha had points that out. And Mama Maru flat out says, if your body still has Haku in it, you could transplant a soul into that vessel. As long as your spirit's gone, so you still have the ability to move it. You just got to put a new soul in there. And the stupid thing becomes a flute, and Akuru kind of slides down, and Setsuna's like, could it be that Rion deceives us? And Towa's like, no, Rion's not that kind of girl. Good on you because that's actually true. But, did you guys think about her dad? And she's like, yeah, she didn't know that it was cursed. I'm like, okay, you're right, but why didn't anybody just go, Kirinmaru cursed it, Kirinmaru cursed it, Kirinmaru cursed it? All right. So as soon as like, so you're trusting someone that's trying to take your body, and Moroha in a very funny, nonchalant way, is like, you're very, very trusting, aren't you? Anyway, even if it's cursed, Towa says she wants to master this blade. She wants to, and Maru's like, do whatever you want. Literally, she says, do whatever you want. And Akuru falls on her lap and nods, and it was so adorable because you would imagine a character like her that's so nonchalant and gives off this vibe of don't cross me, don't touch me. That the little cute little spirit thing falls across her lap and she just kind of lets it go. That's it. It's adorable. But let's talk about Towa real quick. It just really, you're really gonna try to master a thing that's really not meant for you. I am glad that someone down the line, someone said, hey, the real sword that she was using before, that for some reason she keeps carrying on her back, that broken thing that she pours energy into, that's actually the real one there. Why don't we just let her have the real one? That'll probably be in like the final moments. Because I haven't. Let me even get through. I'm not even done yet. So, Akuru runs to them, gives Towa his little pinwheel, and she blows on it, and the Windmill of Time starts to move. And now the degenerate age has begun. Akuru hugs onto Towa, and he's nodding. It's time for them to go. Because Mama was like, there's nothing else left for you here to do. Just go ahead and go. Kirinmaru's flying with Rion. He's like, oh, damn, they got ahead of me. I'm a hater. And portal opens up in the middle of this thing. I was wondering how that was going to work. Like with everything in the show, it's a portal. And General Age has begun. Maru is thinking, she's like, man, I hope you Yashahime make this very interesting for me. She's wondering what's going to come of this prophecy of destruction. So Kirinmaru takes out his blade, and as the girls are holding hands and they're going to jump on through to the Reiwa era, and he sends this purple energy wave that lights. It looks like it lights the whole windmill on fire. It just on fire. After they go through, he goes through this effing a-hole. And in the shift, he's reaching out he's like, my right hand helped me get to this era. But as he's doing this, and after he goes through, because the portal's shrinking, after he goes through, scores and scores of hundreds of demons come pouring out of the Windmill of Time. That is what is meant by the degenerate era. It's kind of sad that Takachiyo and Jaka didn't get through there, but okay. Oh boy, so Ren's looking, Ren looks up from the Tree of Asia spot that her and Shishomaru are in, and as she's doing this, Towa's thinking, she's gonna come through, protect her adoptive family, Sota, Mama Moe, May, and she's gonna fulfill a promise to her mother and come back safely. Sure hope you do, but I hope when you come back, it's actually you and your own body. Next episode, which it was obviously spoiled through the ending song that they were going to go back, but they're getting new clothing. Good for them. Apparently, Moe has a violin concert, so we're going to take a little small rest and go to this concert. But yeah, they got to find Mr. Kirin, get him out of there, and fix up everything. But wait, why is there so many demons around here this time? We actually do see a shot of these frog demons, look like frog monk demons, getting ready to fight Mr. Kirin. Who knows? Mr. Kirin being the right hand might have actually been the good side of Kirinmaru. I have to give this episode a 4 out of 5 for 2 reasons. 2 of the best characters I've seen in this series. In addition to, what is her name? I think it's Yawaragi, Moroha's sword teacher. 2 of the best characters, Maru is an original character, but Medamaru being an original character of the series. 2 of the best characters in this series, in this episode. And it's a shame that we only got Maru in flashbacks, and we get to see her right now. I wish there was a little bit more of her, but she is such a pivotal and important character that you can't have too much of her. She did show up in season 1 taunting Zero, which I wish she would have just laughed at Zero. I wish she would have just poked fun at the fact that she finally passed on or something. No mention of that, because there's no time. Setsuna said there's no time. Medamaru, really great character. He does seem like he is LGBTQ+. He does seem that way, because remember, he's amalgamation of different beings, so probably could have been various amounts of beings that came through there. despite of how he appears and looks, which I'm still giving that a thumbs up of his personality. Really interesting character. Really, really interesting character. Kind of a shame he was just a one-time boss. That's all I can say. 4 out of 5 just for those characters alone. 4 out of 5 for explaining fully what Haku and Kon is to everybody. 4 out of 5 for characters being smarter finally. 4 out of 5 for Mama Maru being here to tell us all of this, and for us to not have to guess or have Kirinmaru go, I had cursed that. Now her body is mine. Can't wait for Riku to show back up with a giant hole in the middle of his chest. You know it's gonna happen. Please let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give me a like. Those are really much appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers. And hit that notification bell if you are not new here to be notified of more videos like this. Don't forget to share the video. And as always, I thank you for taking some time out to spend some time with me. Please, be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, wear a mask. It's crazy out there. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, you're definitely not alone. Someone cares about you. You know what? I care about you. So take that to the bank. As always, I would most definitely see you guys next time.